Tyler adjusted the strap of his backpack as he stepped into the long hallway of Section C9, the newest housing area of the Interstellar Unity Station. He had only just arrived from Earth after being selected for the Cultural Exchange Program. It was a dream come true living on a massive space station filled with alien species, learning about other worlds, and representing humans in peaceful cooperation. He checked his room number again, C947B. He stood in front of the metal door and took a deep breath. New place, new life, and a new roommate. He pressed the panel. The door hissed open. He stepped in and looked around. The room was small but comfortable. Two beds on opposite sides, a shared desk in the middle, and a strange glowing plant in the corner that pulsed softly with light. It wasn't human decoration, that was for sure. On the far bed sat someone who looked up as he entered. She had pale violet skin, long silver hair, and bright green eyes that looked like they could see right through him. She wore a dark robe, with small symbols that shimmered faintly. She blinked slowly. Watching him in silence, Tyler froze. He wasn't sure what to say. Hi, he managed. I'm Tyler, from Earth. The alien girl gave a short nod. I am Valari. Her voice was calm but distant. She didn't smile. He cleared his throat and stepped further inside. I guess we're roommates. Yes, she said simply. Awkward silence followed. Tyler tried to unpack quietly, sneaking glances at her. Valari sat still, staring at her tablet, not saying a word. The first few days went like that. Tyler would talk a little, try to be friendly, and Valari would answer with short replies. She wasn't rude, but she wasn't open either. She left early, returned late, and always kept to her side of the room. Tyler tried not to take it personally. Maybe she just needed time. One evening, Tyler was heading back from the station's garden dome. He had forgotten his data pad and wanted to grab it quickly before the night curfew. He reached their room and tapped the panel. The door slid open silently. He stepped in and stopped. Valari stood in the middle of the room, floating a few inches above the ground. Her eyes were closed, and her arms were stretched out. Strange glowing symbols floated around her body in slow, smooth circles. Her robe was gone, replaced by some kind of ancient-looking cloth that shimmered like stars. Light poured from her chest, and soft wind spun around her inside the sealed room. Tyler's single quotes' mouth dropped open. He didn't even breathe. Valari's eyes suddenly snapped open and met his. The symbols flashed brightly, and with a sudden sound like cracking glass, everything stopped. Valari dropped to the floor with a heavy thud. Valari! Tyler rushed to her side, heart pounding. Are you okay? She groaned softly, trying to sit up. Her glowing light faded, and the room returned to normal. The symbols were gone. He reached out to help her, but she slapped his hand away and backed up fast, her face pale. You saw, she whispered, her voice shaky and filled with panic. I didn't mean to, Tyler said quickly. I just came in from my pad. I didn't know, I swear. She trembled, her eyes wide with fear. You were not supposed to see that. No one is. It's okay, he said gently. I won't tell anyone. Valari's breathing slowed. She looked at him for a long moment. You must swear, she said softly, by your life and by your world, that you will not speak of this. Tyler nodded. I promise. On everything. She studied him again, as if deciding whether to trust him. Finally, she sighed and sat down on the floor, pulling her knees close. I'm going through something called the awakening, she said, voice low. It is a rare thing, and dangerous. It only happens once in our lives. We do not show it to others, ever. It looked like magic, Tyler said. Not magic. Old energy, Valari said. Deep energy from our homeworld's core. It changes us. If we survive, Tyler frowned. If not, all who awaken live through it. Silence filled the room. Then why are you here? On the station, he asked. I was sent before signs began. My people do not know yet. If they find out, they may take me, or worse. Tyler didn't understand everything, but he understood fear, and he saw it clearly in Valari's eyes. You're not alone, he said quietly. Whatever this is, I'll help. Valari stared at him for the first time. Her face softened just a little. "Thank you," she said. Tyler gave a small smile. "Also, floating in the air. Kind of cool." She almost smiled back. Almost. The next morning, Valerie was already awake when Tyler opened his eyes. She sat on her bed, silent, looking at her hands like they didn't belong to her. The quiet hum of the space station buzzed outside their walls, but inside the room, it felt like everything had changed. Tyler sat up slowly. "How are you feeling?" Valerie didn't answer at first. Then she said, "Not well. The energy inside me is unsettled." Tyler nodded. "Can I do anything to help?" "Just don't speak of last night," she said softly. "Not to anyone. Ever. I won't," he promised again. After that, they got ready for their morning shift. The station ran on a shared work schedule. Tyler helped clean and repair garden equipment in the dome, and Valerie worked in the archives. They left the room quietly, each going their own way. Through the day, Tyler kept thinking about what he had seen. Those floating symbols, the light, the way Valerie had been in the air. It was nothing like human science. It looked ancient, powerful, and strange. And the way she had collapsed afterward made him worry even more. When he got back later, Valerie wasn't there. He sat at the desk and looked over the alien plant in the corner. It now had a small flower blooming on one side. He could have sworn it wasn't there before. He gently touched the edge of the petal. It pulsed once, like a tiny heartbeat. The door slid open. Valerie walked in slowly, her steps a little shaky. "You okay?" Tyler asked. "Barely," she whispered. "It's getting stronger." She sat down on her bed and took a deep breath. Her hands trembled slightly, and there was a soft glow under her skin just for a moment before it faded. "Can you tell me more?" Tyler asked carefully. "About the awakening?" Valerie looked at him. Her expression was tired, but she didn't turn away. "It starts with dreams," she said. "Old memories, not mine. They come at night. Voices, symbols, feelings. Then the energy begins to rise. It changes us. We gain strength, new senses. But our minds must stay in control. If we lose control, we become something else, something else," Tyler repeated, concerned. "Something dangerous," she said. "Some never return to who they were." Tyler frowned. "But why does this happen?" "Our ancestors tied us to the life force of our world," she said. "Every few generations, one is born who carries it forward. I didn't know it was me until it started." Tyler leaned forward. "Is there any way to stop it?" Valerie shook her head. "It must finish, one way or the other." They sat in silence. Then Tyler said, "What if we find a way to help you control it?" She blinked. "Help me? Yeah, humans are good at figuring things out. Maybe we can track the energy or balance it somehow." Valerie stared at him. "You're not afraid?" He gave a weak smile. "I was, but not of you. I'm more scared of letting you go through this alone." For the first time, Valerie looked unsure. Not cold or distant, but surprised. "You're strange," she said quietly. "So I've been told," he replied. That night, Valerie showed him a small device, an old cube covered in carvings. "This stores parts of the ancient knowledge," she explained, "but it can only be opened by one who carries the awakening." Tyler watched as she placed her hand on it. The cube glowed faintly and opened, revealing a small orb of light that floated above it. Inside were images, moving pictures made of light. Symbols rotated. Voices whispered, and maps of stars blinked in and out. Tyler couldn't understand much, but it looked like a guide. "This teaches how to survive the change," Valerie said. "But the instructions are incomplete." Tyler nodded. "Then we'll figure out the missing pieces." Over the next few days, they worked together. Tyler used tools from the workshop to scan Valerie's energy waves. They tracked her changes, light pulses in her hands, voice shifts, even temperature changes. Valerie began to practice calming her energy. Using human breathing exercises Tyler taught her, their room, once cold and quiet, became a small lab and sanctuary. The glowing plant in the corner kept blooming. Strange things happened sometimes, a book floating, lights flickering, even gravity shifting for a second, but they kept going. Valerie began to smile now and then, not often, But enough. One evening, she said. You are the first human I've known closely. Tyler looked up from his notes. And how's the experience? Unexpected, she said. But not bad. He laughed. I'll take that as a compliment. Just then, the lights dimmed and flickered. Again? Tyler said. But Velari stood. Suddenly, looking toward the door. Someone is near, she whispered, and they feel like home. But not in a good way. Tyler's heart skipped. What do you mean? I think someone from my world is here, Velari said. And they're looking for me. Tyler stood still as Velari moved closer to the door. Her eyes glowed faintly, and the air around her felt different tense. Alert! How can you tell someone is near? Tyler asked in a low voice. The energy, Velari whispered, it responds to others like me. I feel a presence. It's not strong, but it's watching. Tyler walked to the window and peeked into the hallway. There was nothing unusual. A few other students passed by, one insectoid alien and a tall furry being with long arms. But no one looked suspicious. Maybe it was just someone walking by. He said. Vla shook her head. No, this is something else. Someone knows. I'm here. They didn't sleep that night. In the morning, Velari left early for her shift at the archives, but she warned Tyler. If you see anyone who looks like me, do not speak to them. Do not mention my name. Tyler nodded. Though his mind was full of questions. At lunch, Tyler sat with his human friends. But he couldn't focus. His eyes kept drifting toward the entrance of the cafeteria. He felt like someone was watching him. But every time he looked around, nothing was there. Then, just as he was leaving, he noticed something strange. Near the wall, a tall figure in a deep blue cloak stood still. The figure wasn't eating or talking, just watching. The cloak had symbols that shimmered faintly, like the ones that had floated around Velari. Tyler didn't stare. He turned quickly and walked out. Back in their room, he waited until Velari returned. When she did, her face was pale. I saw someone, they both said at the same time. Tyler's single quotes as heart beat faster. Who did you see? A watcher, Velari said. They belong to the Seekers, my people's hidden group. Their job is to track awakenings and stop them if they seem dangerous. Stop them? Tyler asked. Velari nodded. Sometimes by force. Tyler swallowed hard. Do they know it's you? Not yet, she said. But they are close. We don't have much time. They began planning right away. Velari believed the Watcher couldn't track her directly. Not yet. Her energy was still unstable, which made it hard to pinpoint. But once it balanced, the Seeker could find her in seconds. We need to control it before that happens, she said. Tyler grabbed his scanner and the orb from the cube. Then let's speed up your training. The next few days turned into a blur. Velari practiced focusing her energy, floating objects, lighting up her hands, slowing her heartbeat. Tyler monitored everything, building a graph of her progress. Some nights, the energy grew to wild. Their room would shake. The glowing plant grew vines that wrapped around the ceiling. Once, their bed floated for 5 whole seconds. Tyler always stayed calm, helping her breathe and ground herself. You're getting stronger, he said one evening, as she held a sphere of light between her palms without shaking. I can feel it, Velari said, and I can feel him, the Watcher, closer. One night, something new happened. Tyler woke up to a strange hum. The room glowed with soft blue light. Velari stood in the center, eyes closed, body still. But this time, she wasn't floating. Instead, her shadow on the floor twisted, like it had a life of its own. Velari, Tyler said. Her eyes opened, glowing bright. The symbols returned, but they were no longer spinning. They floated in place, steady and clear. She spoke in her ancient language, then fell silent. Then she said, I'm ready. Tyler blinked. Ready for what? To meet him, Velari said. I know where he is, and if I don't go now, he will come here. Tyler stood. I'm going with you. Velari hesitated. He may harm you. Doesn't matter, Tyler said. We started this together. We finish it together. They moved carefully through the dim hallways. Velari followed a feeling. Something deep and invisible. It led them to an old part of the station less used, quiet, inside a small chamber. The watcher stood. He turned slowly, lowering his hood. He looked like Villari, but older, colder. His eyes were a deep green, sharp and unreadable. "Child," he said calmly, "you were not meant to awaken here." "I did," Villari said, "and I survived." "You're not done yet," the watcher replied. "And this human, he should not be involved." Tyler stepped forward. "I helped her. I protected her, and I won't let you hurt her." The watcher didn't even blink. "You care for her. Strange." Villari moved between them. "I am not here to fight, but I will defend myself." The watcher raised a hand. A symbol appeared above a burning red dot. Tyler braced himself. But Villari lifted her own hand, and her symbol, blue and calm, rose to meet his. The two symbols touched hand. Instead of an explosion, there was a wave of light. Then, silence. The watcher stared at her. "You have control," he said softly. "You are balanced." Villari stood tall. "I am." The watcher looked at Tyler. "He helped you?" Villari nodded. "Yes." The watcher turned and walked away. "Then this stays between us." After the watcher left, the quiet halls of the station seemed even colder. Tyler and Villari stood together in the small chamber, both feeling the weight of what had just happened. "He didn't attack," Tyler said softly, breaking the silence. Villari nodded. "Because I control the energy. He respects that." Tyler smiled faintly. "That was close." "Too close," Villari said. "But now I know. I can protect myself." Over the next days, Villari's confidence grew. Her energy no longer flickered wildly, but hummed steadily beneath her skin. She practiced controlling it with Tyler's help, lifting objects, creating small light orbs, and even calming the glowing plant in their room. Tyler was amazed. "You're like a living star." Villari laughed, a soft, musical sound that filled the room. One morning, the station's commander called a meeting for all exchange participants. Rumors of unusual energy readings had spread, and curiosity was high. Villari didn't want to go, but Tyler encouraged her. "People will talk anyway. Better if you explain your side." At the meeting, various alien species gathered, some curious, others wary. Villari stepped forward, her voice steady. "I am Villari," she began. "I carry the ancient energy of my people. It is rare and powerful. I am learning to control it. I am not a threat." There were whispers. Some aliens looked skeptical, others surprised. Tyler stood beside her, ready to support. After her speech, a council member approached. "Your honesty is noted, but we must ensure safety." Villari agreed. "I welcome tests and help." The council decided to assign a small team to work with Villari and Tyler to monitor her energy and assist her training. Back in their room, Villari smiled. "This is new. We'll face it together," Tyler said. Days passed with training and research. The team discovered Villari's energy could heal minor injuries and boost nearby plants' growth. She showed kindness, not danger. One afternoon, Tyler noticed Villari staring out the window. "What's on your mind?" he asked. "My homeworld," she said quietly. "I wonder if they will accept me now." Tyler took her hand. "You've changed the station's view already. Your people may be surprised." Their friendship deepened, trust growing between them. Then, news came in. Unknown ship entered the station's sector. It broadcasted a message in Villari's ancient language. "It's from my people," Villari said, tense. Council continued to observe Villari's progress. They invited more scientists and diplomats to learn from her and understand her energy. One morning, Tyler found a message waiting for him, a call from the station's security chief. He was asked to meet immediately. At the meeting room, the chief looked serious. "There's a problem," he said. "Some species on the station are unhappy with Villari's presence. They fear her power." Tyler frowned. "What are they saying?" "Rumors of danger, instability, even threats to the station's safety. We must act carefully." Tyler left worried. He told Villari everything. "Then we must show them the truth," she said firmly. "Not with words, but with actions." Together, they planned a demonstration. Villari would use her energy to help the station's damaged systems repair broken lights, clean polluted water, and heal injured plants. The day arrived. A crowd gathered as Valari stepped into the central plaza. Her hands glowed with soft blue light. Slowly, broken lights flickered back to life. The water fountains cleared and sparkled. Nearby plants brightened and grew new leaves. The crowd watched in silence, then slowly began to cheer. A few species approached her, asking questions. Others smiled and nodded. Tyler stood beside her, proud. After the success, the station's leaders praised Valari's courage and power. But not everyone was happy. Late that night, Tyler noticed shadows near the room. Hidden figures whispered. Watching, Valari sensed danger too. They don't want peace, she said. Some fear change. The next day, a group confronted Valari during training. Your power is a threat, one said. You don't belong here. Valari stood tall. I belong wherever I choose. Tyler stepped forward, and I stand with her. The crowd grew tense, but council guards arrived and calmed the situation. Valari looked at Tyler. Thank you, always. He replied. As the days passed, Valari and Tyler worked harder to build trust. They hosted talks, shared stories, and helped others understand the awakening's true nature. Slowly, the station became a place of hope and unity. And for Tyler, what began as a simple mistake walking in on his alien roommate had grown into a journey of friendship, courage, and change that would shape the future of many worlds. As weeks passed, Tyler and Valari grew closer. Their friendship had become a bond of trust and understanding. Valari's control over her energy was steady now, and she helped many on the station with her healing power. Plants flourished under her care, and small injuries healed faster. When she was near. One evening, Tyler found Valari sitting quietly by the window. The stars outside were bright, and the station hummed softly around them. Do you ever miss home? He asked gently. I looked out at the stars. Yes, but I have found a new home here. Tyler smiled. I'm glad. Their peaceful moment was broken by an urgent call from the station security. Tyler, Valari, the voice said. We have a situation. An unknown ship is approaching fast. They are broadcasting an old war signal. Tyler's heart raced. War signal? Here. Valari stood. This could be a test or worse. The station prepared for the arrival. Lights blinked, alarms sounded softly, and crews rushed to stations. The unknown ship docked silently. Its design was old and powerful, with markings that sent a chill down Valari's spine. It's from my people, she said. The war fleet. The station's leaders invited the ship's captain to a meeting. Valari joined, her energy calm but ready. The captain was stern and cold. We have come to retrieve the one who carries the awakening, he said. She belongs with us. Valari stepped forward. I belong here, with those who accept me. The captain's eyes narrowed. You defy the ancient laws. Tyler stood beside Valari. She is more than those laws. She is a bridge between worlds. The captain laughed bitterly. Then prepare for war. The tension grew as ships from the fleet formed a blockade around the station. Valari and Tyler worked with the station's defense team, using her energy to strengthen shields and boost systems. Tyler operated the control panels, coordinating the station's response. The first attack came fast and strong. Laser beams and energy blasts lit the space around them. The station shook but held firm. Valari floated above the defense grid, her hands glowing with blue energy. She sent waves of light that absorbed attacks and repaired damage. Tyler watched in awe. You're incredible. But the captain was relentless. He ordered stronger strikes, testing Valari's limits. As the battle raged, Tyler spotted a small group of enemy ships trying to sneak inside the station. Valari, intruders. He shouted. Without hesitation, Valari moved toward them. Her energy flared brighter than ever before. She created a shield wall that blocked the intruders. Her glowing symbols spun quickly, then burst in a wave that pushed the ships back. The station's crew cheered. After hours of fighting, the captain called for a ceasefire. You have proven your strength, he said grudgingly. We will withdraw, for now. Valari nodded. Peace is better. Tyler smiled, exhausted but relieved. Later, in their room, Valari sat quietly. "Thank you," she said, "for standing by me. Always," Tyler replied. "We're in this together." They looked out at the stars, knowing their journey was far from over, but together they could face whatever came next. The days after the battle felt strange but hopeful. The station was calm, and life slowly returned to normal. But Tyler and Valari knew that nothing would ever be the same. The captain and his fleet had left. But their warning hung in the air. There were others out there, others who feared what Valari represented. One morning, Valari received the message from her homeworld's council. They wanted peace talks and offered a chance to visit and explain her new role. Tyler watched as she read the message. "Are you going?" Valari looked at him, her eyes full of quiet strength. "Yes, but only if you come with me." He smiled. "Then I'm going." Preparations began. Valari shared ancient knowledge and human stories with the council. She told them about the station, the people, and how she had found friendship in an unexpected place. The journey to her homeworld was long and filled with wonder. Tyler saw forests that shimmered with light and mountains that touched the stars. Valari introduced him to leaders and elders. At the council meeting, Valari spoke with confidence. "We must learn from each other," she said. "The awakening is not a threat. It is a gift, one that can bring worlds together." Some elders nodded. Others looked unsure. Tyler stood beside Valari. "I have seen her strength, her kindness. Humanity believes in peace and friendship." Slowly, the council began to listen. Days turned into weeks, and Valari's message spread. Her people started to understand the value of unity and trust. Tyler and Valari explored the world together, growing closer with every step. They laughed, shared meals, and dreamed of a future where different species lived in harmony. One evening, under the glow of twin moons, Valari took Tyler's hand. "Thank you for believing in me," she said softly. "Thank you for showing me a new world," he replied. Their friendship had blossomed into something deeper, a bond that crossed stars and species. As they looked up at the night sky, they knew their journey was just beginning. Together, they would face whatever challenges came their way, and in the vast galaxy, two souls, human and alien, had found a home in each other.